Cooking with Nathan. This is
Mike.
Mike. Mike is a military man.
Yep.
Slash stuntman extraordinaire. Slash soon-to-be tactical coach. Teaches me stuff.
His tactical coach.
Penis coach. There's whiskey in that. Weird. I don't like Black Label.
Society?
Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker. Never been my favorite.
It's too heavy.
It's not a great flavor. Did you want anything?
No, I got coffee because that's my will to live.
Cool. And today we are going to be doing a duck curry.
2 of them.
2? We're doing 2 curries?
We're doing 2 ducks.
No, we're doing 1 duck.
We're doing 1 duck?
No, I got the other one's frozen.
Oh, okay, cool. So 1 duck.
I got another duck just for me.
But whore.
Yeah. I'll give you some. I'll be defrosted by that. Anyway, while we're talking about that, let's start cutting up some onions. This particular recipe needs a fuck ton of onions. Do you want the glove?
Yep.
Cool. Do you want me to show you how to do this?
Yeah.
You done much cutting?
No.
Because you were in the what'd you do in the military?
I was a motor T guy. I drove heavy machinery.
Not potatoes?
No, I didn't cut potatoes. That's actually the Army.
Wait, did they actually do that?
No, that was me being sarcastic. No, that was like, I don't know why that's become like a thing. If you look in the movie In the Army Now,
oh god, yeah.
There's a scene where Pauly Shore is actually like doing potatoes and all that. And I always thought to myself like, wow, I never saw 1 potato when I was active. Never. The entire time.
Did you ever see any real food? Like a straight real potato or like an apple?
Oh, no.
I'm sure you saw like an orange.
Okay, so like this is the thing. Let me clarify this real quick. A lot of people think that like all we eat is military rations. That's part of it. But yeah, like they have a commissary where you can actually eat food that's still not good for you. Yeah. But like home cooked meals, kind of like this, like you're not gonna have this if you're in the barracks. You feel me? Like I had one guy. He had like a skillet, and he had that in his room. Like he had his toothbrush in one.
100% what I would be doing.
Yeah, he had like a little skillet, and he'd make like waffles or whatever. He knocked on my door, and he was like, "Hey, Emma, like, do you want to do you want some bacon or like eggs?" And I was like I was totally new, and I was like in the barracks, and I was like, I never like learned this or anything like that. And he I walk in his room, his toothbrush is on one side of the sink, and then on the other side is a skillet, and he's like cooking bacon and like waffles and all this other bullshit.
It's a good man. Good man.
Yeah.
Now, I'm guessing you didn't see how I cut that, did you?
No.
Okay. So what you're gonna do? Cut that, and then what you're gonna do once you get those both sides off, you're gonna go just like on the outside of it, just to peel the skin off.
Oh, okay, cool. Right on. Yeah. So.
And see your hands?
Yep.
Scare me. So grab it here with the knuckles. Boom, like that. That way your fingers are far enough away from everything else.
Yep. I went from learning how to...
Like that. See, yeah, right there.
There we go. Learning how to use a gun, now I'm learning how to use a knife.
Cut a little bit more off. A little farther.
Ooh.
Right there. There you go.
All right.
Now, slice it down that way. Oh, a little more. You want to kind of get through that first layer. It's a little bit, bitch. There you go.
Oh, okay, cool.
Now peel that fucker off.
Yeah.
So, and I think this is something that I think a lot of people wonder, because like, when did you get in?
I got in right after high school, so like 2005.
2005. So that's 5 years after. Well, no, 4 years after 9/11. No, 5 years.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. Yeah.
So where is it? So you really want to make that nice cut. Like that.
I'm learning, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the biggest transition going into military? Like when you started to like once you went to basic, then you actually went overseas.
So like the transition, like the way it goes, like you go to boot camp, you do that for 3 months, and then you do then you do like combat school for 3 or 4 months, something like that. It's been a while, so I don't remember every little detail.
No, obviously.
But and then you go to your job training.
Chop here, and then just try to do as like thin as possible.
Oh, okay.
And here, see the knuckles like that. That way you can put the knife right against it. So.
Oh, really?
I don't want to stop you from talking, but like basically, if you watch here.
Oh.
So see that? Boom.
Yeah.
And see how my fingers are never getting in the way of it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's how you want to do it.
That's freaking dope.
And that way, and this back thumb you want to have it in the back end so it pushes it as your fingers are going backwards.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
there you go. But continue.
Yeah, so basically, like, after you do boot camp for 3 months, you go to basic infantry training, and then after that, it's like 3 or 4 months for that, and then after that, you go to your job training, where you train for your job. My job was motor transport, so I drove heavy machinery trucks, and I did that for quite some time. And then after that, you get shipped off to the fleet. And the fleet is like the actual base you're going to be stationed at. I was stationed in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
What do you want to do? Do it now, like that way.
And
boom.
oh yeah, boom.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, okay, cool.
That way you don't have anywhere it's slipping.
But then after that, you're on the fleet, and which is like like an actual base where you're at and station, and it becomes like almost like a normal 9 to 5 at that point. That's a little thin, don't you think?
No, that's fine. What you want to do is kind of go here. Boom. And then you're just gonna do the rest of these like that.
Cool, right on. And then when you're on the fleet, it's more like I said, it's more like a job. You wake up, you train, you go to whatever function you got to go to.
Yeah.
And I was part of our artillery unit. So your artillery unit, so that's like the 777 howitzer, and the shoots
So
the
we
one.
talking about like on a boat? Like,
No. This is like base.
Okay, so you're like actually one of the guns that's shooting like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wasn't part of the artillery team. I was part of the actual team that drove all the equipment out there. Like I just drove all the heavy machinery trucks.
Okay, so you're doing like deuce and a half?
Yeah.
Nice.
So 7-ton, that's like the one we'll drive it. Like the deuce and a half is what they used to have.
Yeah.
But when I got in, it was like the 7-ton, and that's it.
I honestly always wanted to have one of those cars.
You could actually buy one.
I know, but I just don't want to pay for the gas. It's like
Yeah. No, apparently you could buy like the Hummer. Like if you go to like an auction, you could actually do the whole Hummer thing.
Just those cars, those big ass trucks always look like a ball of fun.
Oh yeah.
So you were like you drove those around. You were doing that, and when you got deployed, where were you?
Oh man, my first deployment, I was attached to the 22nd MU. Yeah, the 22nd MU, and which is a Marine Expeditionary Unit, and basically you go to you're the 911 force for the country.
Can you guys ask that question again? Something happened with your mic. Ask the same question.
You good? Fuck yeah. So where were you deployed?
So my first actual deployment was I was attached to the 22nd MU. And basically that's a 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit, and you're basically a 911 force attached to a boat. You're put on a boat with the Navy. So some people that do not know, the Marine Corps is actually a department of the Navy. So that's why. Yeah, it actually says it in the actual logo. It's like Department of the Navy, and the Navy always loves to let you know.
Yeah.
You're one of us.
So you were a Marine.
Yeah, I was in a Marine Corps. Yeah, and I did that for a while. But when you're an artillery unit, they don't use artillery for everything. So you get cross-trained to do a lot of other different things. You get cross-trained to be infantry or more advanced infantry, or you get trained to do what I did on my other deployment, which is like MP. I was an MP in a detention facility in Iraq, but overall, and that's when you're on the boat, you're the 911 force. So like if something were I don't know if you remember when Haiti got hit.
I do.
So they would send actual naval boats with
really
soldiers and whatnot over there. Whoa! I didn't realize that. Are you heating up the coconut oil?
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, electric stoves. But other than that, that's pretty much how it goes. Like when you're attached to a unit, you go where they say you're gonna go.
Gotcha. But so you don't know if you're going to be doing stuff like transport. You don't know if you're going to be doing stuff like you don't know if you're going to be infantry. You're just pretty much going, and they're going to show you what you're doing at that point, and then we're going to see what's going on. So you might have just been a cook.
Basically, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I actually had a guy that was a cook, and he was attached to our unit, and he showed up one day. He's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. He's like, we'll show you. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. He's like, you show me how to fry an egg, teach you how to shoot other things better.
Yeah.
Because in not like every other branch is different. Like in the Marine Corps, everybody has to learn how to shoot a rifle. Everybody, I'm not sure how it is with pistol nowadays, but like when I was in, they didn't like harp on pistol too much. But if you got to shoot pistol, that was like a plus, you know.
Wait. So when you're basic, they don't show you how to shoot pistol and rifle. They just show you how to shoot rifle.
Only rifle because that is the main weapon.
That's
the main weapon that you have.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why even like the admins, like admins that are in the military, they have to know how to shoot rifle. They go to the rifle range once a year. They have to qualify. They can't just like not qualify.
Yeah, that's good. We'll leave that one.
Yeah, but that's where like the whole slogan, every Marine a rifleman, because everybody has to go to the rifle range at boot camp, and you have to pass. You can't like sugarcoat it by any stretch of imagination. So
Okay.
That's why they put the where the like. You seen the?
Are you part of this fucking show? No, I'm sorry. What was that?
oh, Dante, we love you.
What's up, dude?
The commemoral thing that they use, like that tattoo that they put like the rifle and the helmet. That's why they put the rifle on it.
No, that's actually no. Well, I mean, yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, but it's not the main reason. That whole memoriam is like if a soldier does pass away, and so some Marines don't like to acknowledge it, but like you are called a soldier. You know, it's been told to me when I was there, and it's just like, you may not like it, but you're a soldier, because everybody puts like, if you're in the Army, you're a soldier. When you're in the Marine Corps, you're a Marine. And I was like, I get it, I see where they're coming from, but like you're gonna get called a soldier every once in a while. It's not the
You want to dump pretty much all this garlic in there?
Dump
Have you
it
used
all.
one of these?
No, I don't know what this is.
So you throw the garlic in there, put it in, smash the fuck out of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you, boo boo? Oh, I need to fucking turn this rice on. I'm being
Okay.
silly.
Oh wow. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Oh, yo, shove as many in there as you can.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you want to use them all?
Yeah, fuck
Use them all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more garlic, more fun.
Yeah. We're gonna go. Why? So guess what?
We gotta go wild, bro.
Yeah, America.
Yeah, boom.
Really? Okay, cool.
Yeah, you gotta give it a little bit, and then you can kind of like with the back end of the knife. Yeah, scrap it off. There you go. So, what would you say your expertise was when you were over there?
When I was active duty, I was heavy machinery, so driving. So anything that involved like a wheel or driving over there, that was like the main thing I did.
Okay.
You know, but along the way, like I learned a lot of things, like how to use a radio, how to do medical, which I became a medical assistant on for my second deployment. I was like one of the backups, you know, because you have a medical team, and then when they can't do their job, when they're backed up doing something else, the assistants come in, and that's like when they train. They pull one of us aside, hey, you're gonna learn how to do medical stuff, blah, 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 blah. And that's how I learned how to do all the basic stuff and learn how to like stitch and all that fun jazz. Because it'll get tough from time to time. But yeah, but like you have your base job of what you learn in the military, like what you learn in boot camp, and like whatever school that you go to, and then along the way you just learn a bunch of other stuff like tactical stuff. Like I didn't learn a lot of the tactical stuff that I know now until like my second deployment, because we constantly went to classes for heavy duty infantry training and military police training, how to put handcuffs on somebody and all this other jazz, you know. Okay, I think that's good.
Yeah, sometimes you're gonna.
Do you need all that?
Huh?
Do you need all that right there?
Yeah, you can get up, but we're also gonna put the ginger through it too.
Oh, through it?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
This is I just did this for the first time, but a second ago or an hour ago. So yeah.
You don't have to like skin it or anything? No?
You can.
You can.
You can, but you know, fuck it.
You can, but fuck it.
It's gonna. It tastes good all the same.
Oh yeah.
Cut it again if it needs to be.
Yeah, I think it needs to be a little smaller.
Now so you're in Afghanistan or Iraq?
Iraq. When I was active duty, I was in Iraq.
Okay. Did you have good food over there?
No. See,
No, wait,
look,
like actually, the real question is, did you get to try any of the local food, or was it too much of a worry?
no, they told us to not do it.
Yeah.
Like if it became an option, I remember like specifically having that conversation like with a sergeant of mine at the time, and said like, do not have any of the food out there, because you never know the person that gives it to you that might give you something that's not supposed to be in it, and it might make you sick and X, Y, and Z, blah blah blah.
Yeah, because it's like
Oh wow.
Me as a cook person, I would love to go to those countries and try the food, but I understand from this perspective you were at, like, no, I don't fucking want to do that at all.
Yeah, for sure. When I went to France, like my first deployment, I got to go to like France, Italy.
Oh, nice.
Qatar and all that stuff, and they tell us all the time, don't eat local food or whatever. But if you're like when I went to France, they said, hey, you could have like the local food and because you're in the city,
Wait, would they say don't have the local food in France?
You never know, dude, because like that's like the thing. You just got to be careful, like how you go about it.
Well, are they saying if you're walking around, that's probably pretty good with that.
With all that, you want to get these in?
No, they're the one less more in there.
Yeah, okay.
Is that like if you're walking around in military outfit or
no,
uniform, excuse me?
No, like it all depends. Like if you're in Iraq and you're walking around and if you're in a military uniform, probably don't want to eat like the local food because either they might put something in it or what have you. But there are some instances where some guys have had it, and I've heard good stories about it, and I heard some stories where they got sick.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
But that could also be from the heat, the fucking no refrigeration. This.
Oh yeah.
Like I know there's one dish, I think it's in Iraq, where it's basically there's just a pile of this gelatinous mass, right? Where I think it was camel fat.
Yeah, that makes
sense. And basically what they do is they keep all the food and everything like they cooked in a pile of camel fat because it seals it, so there's no air in there. Yeah. So you just take this gelatinous mass with you wherever. It smells terrible, but then you can kind of just heat it up and just eat it later.
Yeah, for sure.
I get that, but at the same time, if you're not used to some of those fucking textures of flavors, I can totally see you getting fucked sick.
No, I mean, I had a friend of mine, like, she went to France, and she was, like, eating food at, like, different restaurants and all other stuff, and, like, her body, it just didn't hit her body very well.
Yeah.
And it was just, like, one of those things, like, maybe she should, maybe she should dial back on the food that she's eating in France,
Yeah. There's definitely some stuff you do not want to.
Oh yeah. No, but I grew up in a household like my mom and dad are Cuban, so we had a lot of Cuban food that we made, when I was growing up, and then we had like Italian, and then we had different things of like other Taiwanese food and stuff like that. It wasn't that great because honestly I think they make it the best.
With
like the Taiwanese and all that.
Yeah.
But curry is something I don't get to have a lot, so
damn it! Please,
thoroughly enjoying the curry, the process of making the curry. Though this is gonna be great. Can't wait.
Well, hey, let's not encounter chickens before it actually hatches, huh?
Yeah.
So once you stir that up pretty good, and you want to kind of get
hands?
with your hands.
Cool.
We ain't fancy here.
No, you don't need fancy hair.
And there's 2 pieces of duck breast in there, freshly cut off the body.
I felt that.
Yeah. Now, question. I think a fun, interesting thing was about your life is the fact that you were actually a medic, or a little bit of a medic at some point.
Yeah.
Now, I think we all understand that when you join the military as a young man, you're not the brightest.
Not the brightest.
Not the brightest.
Not the brightest at all.
And I'm going to say this with all due respect, because I know what I was like at a certain age. Let alone if you gave me a gun, sent me far away from where I was, and blah, 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 blah. So you had to deal with a lot of young gents.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Young gents that were...
Not so bright.
Not so bright. Now, as a medic, you tend to find, I don't know, sores, stuff. And I think we all understand what I do for a living as a... sexual deviant, if you will. And to come to find out that some of my major fans, one, are huge military fans. I have apparently a whole base in Germany that loves me, which I thought was quite...
Is it Rammstein base?
I don't know what base it is.
Because there's a massive base in Germany. It's Rammstein.
Huh?
And
it's called Rammstein?
Like the city.
Please, God, let it be that. That's fucking dope.
No, it is.
No, I'm hoping it's the base that loves me.
I hope it's the base that loves you too, because like that base, it's last time I've been to, it's been a while since I've been to it, but it was huge the last time I went. But I noticed when I walked in, I was like, and I was listening to the band Rammstein, and I had no idea, where's the band from? They're from Rammstein. Like the band originated there, and here I am, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Mike, getting off a plane, before I go to and from Iraq, and I'm sitting there. I was like, wait, there's a city named Rammstein, and it's like the same band that I listened to. And then I go back, and I'm like, that's why they named it, because the band originated there.
Cross my fingers for that, guys.
So, but there's a drink, I remember purely by accident. I drank something there in Rammstein Air Base, and I didn't realize what it was.
Yeah.
And they always tell you, like, when, like, wherever you go, be careful what you drink, be careful what you eat, blah, 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 insert whatever. And I drank, like, a soda, but it had, like, the logo of the band Rammstein on it and everything, and it was great. And then I realized, I was like, why do I feel so fucking high right now? And then I go see, like, my boss, like, my gunnery sergeant at the time. I looked at him, he was like, you know, and my gunnery sergeant in the Marine Corps, he was like a Southern black man, super tall, super slim guy, very, very nice guy. But he looked at me, he was like, Emo, what's wrong with you, son? And I'm just like, I'm good, Gunny. And he's just like, you all right? And I was like, what'd you drink? I was like, oh, I had a soda. Mind you, I still had the can in my bag, and I didn't realize it. And I read it, and it has like, oh, THC, da-da-da. And all. So I was on this airplane going home, or going, I think I was going, I was going home. And I was like freaking high as shit. I was just like holding onto the chair. My buddy's like, dude, be cool. And I was like, I'm cool. I'm cool. You know, like looking off like into the distance, you know, I thought I had like a pet dragon for a little bit. Peppy, you know, it was great.
Yeah, who doesn't have it?
But
I love how I tell you to wash your hands and you put your hands back in there.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah.
No worries. But anyway, speaking of like what I was talking about, it's like, with the guys that you had, the young guys out there, what were some of the interesting things they would bring to you as a, would you call that a corpsman?
Yeah. I was like.
So let's say me, young, bushy-eyed, bright-eyed tail. I just got a basic. I'm like,
oh shit! You got X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, X, Y, and Z. So what are some of the fun things that you would see because people didn't wear condoms?
No, my God, dude.
Guys, condoms aren't that bad.
Seriously, like, you know, one, always have protection. So we had a thing in the military. It's called a 96. So you have 96 hours of freedom to go do whatever you want. And they always give us these simple things. One of them is kind of like how you're saying, wear a condom, be safe about what you're doing, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And you know, and we had a, I remember, I'll never forget this as long as I live. I had a gunny. He came up and said, guys, I know you guys aren't going on, like, you're gonna have like a free weekend, 96 hours free weekend. You know, make sure you do a function check on the girl you're gonna get with during this time off. And I was like, bright-eyed, young, bushy-tailed guy. I was like, Gunny, what's a function check? And I was like, glad you asked. And it's like, that's when, before you go down on a girl or before you start doing sexual things with whoever you're doing it with, make sure there's nothing down there that doesn't look out of the norm, you know? And I was sitting there like,
I wish that was easy as said as done.
I know. I wish it was. It's so easy to say, but when you're in the moment, you're just
you don't
like,
go, fuck, dude.
Like, do you have an ID? Do you have a doctor's notice or something? Like, these are things you don't ask when you're going into said position. You know. But I remember one of my younger guys. I was a corporal, and I just finished like my second deployment, so we got this big batch of new guys in, and this one kid knocked on my door. And I was like, it was like one of the guys that I know from my unit, and he was like, "Hey, Ema, I got one of your guys here, and I think he has a problem." I was like, meanwhile, I'm on my off time. I'm in my room. I'm just hanging out, doing whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. What's going on? And he literally looks at me. He's like, you might want to like check your guy. And I was like, why? What's wrong? I was, well, we just went for a PT run. You know, you just have physical training run. And we all have like the same thing: green shirt, green shorts, sneakers to go run, whatever. And I noticed like the side of his shorts was red, and I was looking at it. I was like, what happened? Did you fall? Did you clip something? Yeah. Whatever. I'm thinking like he fell down and he cut himself open or whatever. That's not what happened. So, and then I looked at him. I was like, hey man, like what happened? Like what's going on? He was like, and my buddy looked at me. He's like, your buddy's leaking some shit, dude, and like it ain't good. And I'm like, and I straight up told him, I was like, hey, go to medical, dude. So I called my boss, like, hey, so-and-so. I sent him to medical because, you know, it looks like he has an injury. It looks like he's bleeding, yada, yada, yada. I'll get the whole story and I'll come back.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, cool. Keep me posted, whatever, you know. And then I go over to medical and I see like my roommate at the time, who's like, that lives in the barracks room next to mine.
Yep.
Who's an actual corpsman, and I'm just the assistant. And I was like, hey, you know, what's going on with so-and-so? And he's just like, oh, dude, you would not believe. And I was like, and he's got, you know, when you're in the medical, you know, tent, you gotta look at everything. You gotta see everything. So he literally told me, he's like, dude, like your guy's thing is like, it looks like, you know, Morse code all over it. That's basically what he told me. And I was like, what? At that time, I didn't know what these things looked like because I don't see these things every day.
Yeah, no, it's not something you see all the time.
So it's not something I see all the time. So
there's just like bumps all over his dick?
Yeah, bumps all over his dick and whatnot. And I was like, all right, like, what's going on here? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, like, Corporal, like, I got with this girl last weekend and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. When you're in a military town, dude, when you live in a military town, like, there are some unfortunate people that just love to take advantage of y'all because, like, you're military. You know, they know you get paid on the 1st and the 15th. It's funny because strippers know that. Oh, it's the 15th. You got paid, so like I know you got money to burn. Blah 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 and all this other shit. And I was like, okay, cool, no big deal. And I even told him, so we got paid. That it just happens to be like on that weekend. We had 96 hours off and this X, Y, and Z. And I look at it and I was like, what'd you do? It was like, oh, like I went off with this girl, blah, 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 and had, you know, did all this like, you know, had sex and shit. And I was like, okay. I was like, did you wear a condom? And he looked dead at me. He was like, no, why would I? And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? What is the thing that we say in the brief every fucking time before we go out on the weekend? He was like 18, dude. 18, 19 years old, whatever, you know, young. But man, I even said, I was like, dude, we even told you in the brief, you know, be safe about these things, you know, X, Y, and Z. And then he's like, I'm like, all right, cool, I'll go tell the boss. So I told my boss, he's like, and literally my gunny looked right at me. He said, that's your responsibility. I was like, no. He's one of your guys. He clearly did not want to take care of, like, I remember like the moment he came back to like because we have a section in a motor pool where you know we have the artillery guys over here, we have the motor T guys over here, we have the radio guys on this side. You know, he literally came in and like half my section literally just walked out, and I was like, "Fuck, man! Like now I gotta be his babysitter."
Real fast before we keep going on the story. This is a good story. So basically, what you're trying to do right now is you're trying to cover the pan with oil, and you see those ripplings you're getting right there. See that?
Yeah.
That's the oil's pretty much gonna be hot, which you could do if you. Let's see. That's pretty hot, but you want to actually, what you would really want is the water to hit it and just like displace out. But pretty much let that go for a second longer, and then we're gonna throw those in meat side down, and we're gonna sear it on both sides. Both those, then we're gonna put it on a pan, throw them in the oven, then we're gonna start sauteing all the veggies.
Okay. Do you want meat down so the skin is on top? Cool.
Yeah,
Roger
meat
that.
down first.
All right.
Yeah, continue with your.
Yeah. So then, but either way, back to what I was saying. So I told him like, hey, like you know, our guy got like you know some kind of, he got a little gift from a girl. You know, he's like, okay.
How nice.
So I went up to my buddy. I was like, well, what does he have to do? He's like, oh, like they gave him cream. Do you want to do it with tongs or bare hand?
Cover your fucking hands.
Yeah, okay.
Just get all the onions off it.
Yeah. He's like, just get all your.
There you go.
Oh man, that sizzle! I love this sound. Ready?
Okay, good. You want to get them around the same time because we just want it to sear off. So
yeah.
50 sides?
Yeah.
Oh. Dante!
But overall, I remember, I'll never forget, that was like the one thing I'll never forget that I had to deal with that. So then, it's like, so what you have to do at that point is like, you know, you actually have to like wash, take a shower.
Yeah.
Did you
have to help him?
No, I didn't, thank God I didn't have to help him. I'm not going to shower. It was like, it's like, hey, and that, no, I'm not. Can you imagine? It's just like cleaning my rifle. Like, yeah.
It's like I'm gonna take some fucking just bristly shit and just
It's like it's like the ones you clean like the scuzz brush.
Grab
you
this
use
and
to.
kind of see how the bottom looks.
It's a little bit seared.
Yeah, flip it up. Flip it. Flip it. Yep. There you go. And now just spin it around. Get it all in the oil. There you go. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, keep it like that. Now put it back down. Let it chill for a second.
Yeah.
Because basically we're just trying to brown both sides, and then we're gonna throw all this in there.
Oh sweet.
Yeah.
Because but then so he had to take a shower. I was like, he has like these creams and stuff like that. He has to like to like clean himself off. But then the funniest part about it, I'll never like unsee. There's like one of those things you just don't unsee. Yeah. He had to like wrap bandage around the whole thing or whatever, and like he came out and the lead medical guy came up to me and was like, "Hey, this is what he has to do every night." And I looked, I was like, "What does he have to do?" He was like, he has to put like the ointment on, like the cream, and then he has to wrap it.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there looking at it, I was like, "Oh God!" And all you see is like this like young ass kid, no idea what's going on. He's like this, walking like this. Because every time he walked, he said it hurt. I'm like, well, yeah, because like your skin's moving, your legs are moving, whatever, X, Y, and Z. It did not work well for him. I just sit there. I was like, see, this is why you don't just jump on any opportunity that comes to you.
Yeah.
So it's like, be careful what you do, guys.
Yeah. As your professional opinion as a doctor, as a learned man of science.
I'm not a doctor.
Shut up. You're a learned man of science. What do you tell all the young men out there about STDs?
I was like, one, it looks.
Put it in that pan.
Okay.
Sick.
So if you're, guys, I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Hold this in there.
If you're gonna go off and do some fun stuff at night, whatever it may be, wear protection. Be safe about it, because you never know what's out there. Don't be a tool. Wrap your tool. Because you only got one.
You only got one, guys.
You only got one.
No matter what common science says.
It's not like you could buy another one off the shelf.
No.
But either way, yeah, that's like one of those things I had to like. That's like one of the funnier dark moments that I've had. I was like watching one of my younger guys in like pure pain, and it's like walking like this. Hey, Cobra, ready for formation! And it was funny because like we have a formation every day, and we had to like motor team is good, radio team's good, all this all the different teams are good to go. And then all you see is this young kid, clearly fresh out of medical, coming out of the medical office like this, in so much pain because he caught a little something.
Yeah. Dude, and also, how long ago did he do that to get all that?
Oh no, that was like. So he did that. He did it on the weekend. We found out like Monday morning.
Okay, because I would like to make something very clear, guys. I work in the sex industry. I've gotten gonorrhea and chlamydia a handful of times. It fucking happens. I've never gotten anything that was that fast. Whatever was in this bitch's pussy, you would have smelled it, and it would have been rank. At least from my knowledge of what I do for a living. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that I've had lots of sex, and that's never happened to me. So whoever you are, boy out there, just know you done fucked up in Nathan Bronson's book.
No, dude, you know what the funny thing is? Like later, you know how like some people like they keep in touch through like social media and stuff like that? Yeah. And I sent them off on their first deployment, like we trained them up, and I was getting ready to get out of the active duty, and these guys were gonna go to Afghanistan as their first deployment. And like we have like a time where like they some people like they
are those ducks in the oven?
Throw the ducks in the oven?
Yeah.
Up top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say let's throw it for like boys.
God, dude, I gotta get a setup like this. This is what I really want.
Oh, dude, this thing's great, right?
Yeah, this is amazing. Because I feel like the stove I have at home, it's fire, but it doesn't, like, the flame is not like that.
This thing's great. This
is amazing.
So, before we even start, let's throw some turmeric in there. We're gonna throw a little bit of all these things in there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, bud. That's good.
One.
What's that, coriander?
Ground white pepper.
Yeah, fine, but why not? That's good. Didn't need that.
We're gonna
smoke paprika.
Mind you guys, I always ask Nathan for a bunch of like advice on like how to do all these things, and the main thing he told me to do, this one or the other side.
Let's do the other one because if cumin comes out with lots of flavor.
Cumin. Close to Cuban.
Close, but not.
Yeah, but not. Way not. Is it coming out? Oh, okay.
There we go.
But he's like, I told him how like I make my food, and I remember one time you said like, dude, you're basically making yourself prison food.
Yeah,
season it for fuck's sake.
Dude, it's such a so. Are you go ahead and pour some of that? Nutmeg sparingly. That's good. So here's the thing that I find very interesting about a lot of people when they're bodybuilding, when you're trying to do weightlifting or like what would you consider yourself doing?
Powerlifting. I was powerlifting for a good while.
Powerlifting, military guys, doesn't matter who it is. There's a certain amount of hatred you have for your own fucking body. When you decide that the only thing I can do with my day is eat boiled chicken and fucking brown rice. Fucking stop it. Learn about seasoning, learn about it's no calories.
Yeah.
It's barely anything.
You could get a lot for a lot of this stuff. You can get it
Just dump coffee in most of it. You'll be better off. Fucking
I wonder.
Stop.
With the amount of coffee you drink, you think you could make something that has like you use coffee?
Oh, I can make all my food with coffee.
Really?
Yeah, dude. In the '90s, that was a huge thing for a while.
That's dope.
Big thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, guys, season your food. Learn how to season your food. Watch my show. You'll get no information, but you'll at least see what I'm doing. Kind of. There's colors.
Like I'm learning this.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, and just a nice low, and just keep stirring that bitch around.
Yeah.
And then we'll throw chicken stock.
But I want to get back to that one kid.
Oh yes, please do.
Dude, I remember one time, like, you know, sometimes there's some certain moments where, like, you know, family members want to see, like, you know, where they work and all this other stuff and whatnot. So this guy, the same kid that had, you know, an error happen on his schlong, he knocked on my door and he was just like, "Hey, Corporal, like, I want you to meet my girlfriend." I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh my God, poor girl, you have no idea what this man has just been through. Like, and I was sitting there, he's like, "Oh, hello, Corporal, very nice to meet you. You know, I heard many nice things about you." And I'm just sitting there, I was like, I know that your boyfriend now fucked some cougar and got a nice little present from her, and now you're dating him. And he's like, holy shit. But
how's it smell?
that smells great. Especially with all the, what is this? What is this one?
This is turmeric.
Turmeric? Yeah. I gotta get that one too.
Oh, dude, turmeric is great. It's got great health benefits. It will actually cause less inflammation.
Really?
Yeah, fun fact.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. So being around all these young guys, how old were you at the time?
Me, when I got in at 18. When that specific scenario happened, I believe I was 22.
Okay.
22, something like that.
So you were just a little bit older.
I was a little bit older, you know. I mean, thankfully I never got anything because, like, you know, even when I first got into the military, I was still like a little bit like sheltered. I was like, you know, I don't want to try anything too wild, but, like, you know, I would go skydiving, learn how to ride a motorcycle, and all these.
Oh, dude, I had
things.
plenty of military friends who I went out with, and I was like, really, guys, you're fucking this dumb? All right, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I'm a dumb person, man, but like some of the stuff I was doing with some of my buddies, I remember one of my buddies, he just got out of boot camp. He blew his whole paycheck from all the boot camp.
Yeah.
On me and him at a strip club. And he was just so, like, I'm like, dude, bro, you don't have to keep buying me fucking lap dances. He just kept buying me lap dances.
No, dude, you know what the funny thing is? That's like one thing that every military guy goes through, because when you're at that young age and you get a fat check and it says, hey, you know, you're doing all these different jobs and yada yada, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna go you're gonna go do stuff you never did before, you know?
Yep.
And so you're gonna go to like strip clubs and all this other bullshit or whatever. But I remember, unfortunately, like, you know, I don't mind a little drink here and there, but like some guys will blow almost their entire thing on like, like heavy drinking and whatnot, and like I never got into that. But I think the funniest moment that I had, like my roommate at the time, I'll never forget this. He was a radio guy and I was a motor T, and I randomly went into like the PX. The PX is where it's like the 7-Eleven on base. That's what a PX is. You know, you just go there, you literally get whatever, like energy drinks, little snacks here and stuff like that, and you have all these little different little knickknacks you could buy there as well. So I remember I walked in and I saw my roommate, and he was like, you know, he was a little bit tipsy because he went to his other friend's house right after work, and they all got like freaking hammered. And then he drove back on base, and I clearly saw him. I was like, "Hey, dude, what's going on?" He's like, "Emma, what the fuck is up, dude? I'm drunk as shit." I was like, "Dude, don't say that. We're in public right now. You know, you're in a military base, so anybody that's a high rank and they see you in your military uniform and you're a little bit tipsy, they're gonna get a little bit pissed off, and you're gonna get in trouble. Especially if you get caught by the MPs, like the military police. You know." They're like cops for military people because apparently we need them for us because we can't police ourselves. Fun fact. But I sat there and I was like, "Dude, are you drunk?" He's like, "Yeah, fucking wasted." I was like, "Shut up, dude, chill, like not too loud." And he's like, "All right, cool, no big deal." But I was like, "Hey, like, is your car here?" And I was like, "Yeah." Mind you, he has like one of those old school Crown Vics where it's like driving a bus.
No, like the one outside?
Yeah, like the one you have outside in front of your house. I don't know why it's there, but whatever. But what's that?
This is homemade chicken broth.
Homemade chicken broth next, and just let that melt down a little bit.
Yeah, just let it melt down.
Yeah.
There.
But overall, and I was like, "Dude, like, I'm gonna pay for all your shit. Just get in your fucking car. Give me your keys." And I was like, "All right." And he's like, and he's not really nonchalant about it at all. He says it all loud and shit. He was like, I was like, "Dude, give me your keys." Like, he was like, "All right, Emma, here." And he's like drunk as shit. I was like, "Oh no, dude, please." And mind you, I literally walk out and the next aisle is a freaking like a gunnery sergeant, which is like past staff sergeant. So, like, once you get into like the sergeants and up, it's like, be careful, you know, you don't want to get in trouble. So like the corporals and below,
stir that all in there.
You know, the corporals and below, you know, they're little troublemakers here and there. I got into some trouble in there in the Marine Corps. I'll explain that here in a bit. Yeah, I know you heard the story when I got in trouble. But I took him out. I was like, "All right, cool," you know, and I got him in his car, and I was like, "Dude, where are you?" I was like, "I'm in the car." I'm looking in the car. There's nobody in the fucking car. I have this bag of shit that I just bought, and I just told him to get in the car. And I was like, "Where the fuck are you?" And I was like, "I'm in the car." And I was like, "So there's no seat, the car," and I checked the trunk. Dipshit is in the trunk. I opened the trunk and he's there. He's like, "Hey, you found me." I'm like, "No fuck!" Like, I was like, "Dude."
It made, you know, it makes sense.
It made like he, instead of hiding in the car or just like being like chill out about it, no, he hid in the fucking trunk like a fucking madman. And I was like, "This is like, dude, if we make it back to like our barracks without getting in trouble or getting pulled over, it'll be a freaking godsend. It'll be great." But then I was like, "Dude, get out of the trunk. You could sit in the passenger seat." And then he sits in his own passenger seat, and he's just chilling. No big deal. I was like, "All right, cool." We get to our base. It's like a 5-minute drive from the PX to where we lived on base. So it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But we get him back, and then I had to like, you know, kind of like, not drag him, but like kind of like hold on to him so he doesn't fall over as I'm bringing him up the stairs. And mind you, we live on the 3rd floor in the barracks where we lived. And I just kind of, I opened my door, and I just kind of like throw him in there. You know, just like, "Hey," and he falls flat on the floor. Boom, right on the floor. And I was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna fucking die." And I was like, this is not happening, dude. Like, I cannot believe this is happening. I was like, "Jess, like, go shower or something." I was like, "Oh, yeah, whatever, no big deal." So he's like, hey, can I lay down for a little bit? Sure, no big deal, whatever. We got here. I called one of his friends, and I was like, hey, dude, like your boy's in my room, and he's fucking wasted. Like, he was wasted at the PX, and I had to drive his car here with him in it and shit. And he's like, what was that we just threw in?
This is coconut milk.
This is coconut milk, guys. Wow, I like how it's changing colors. This is great. Yeah. But and he was like, oh, okay. So then his friend comes over to my barracks room, and I was like, dude, how'd you find him? I was like, I found him at the PX. He was like, he was in uniform. He was in uniform, but he was wasted. I was like, oh shit. He was just like, dude, thanks for helping him out or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, no big deal, whatever, no big deal. And then he's laying down in his rack, and I'm just kind of like, like letting him like chill out and stuff, like just get like all the drunk out of him and
get
shit.
Get the wiggles out.
Yeah, I was like, here's some water, just hang out, And then literally he looks at me, he's like, hey Ema, thanks, and all over his bed, dude. Like it was all over his bed. It was horrible, so horrible, and I was like, I cannot believe this is happening right now, dude. But either way,
a little spice to that?
Yeah. What was that?
Nothing.
Added nothing in there.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Now, I think we need a little more coconut milk to that, but yeah. Along with the, because this is almost done. Funny enough. There's people out in the world right now, like definitely have a interesting feeling about what you do as an American military professional. Right?
Oh yeah, there's quite a few of y'all.
Yeah, which is plenty. And I think along with a lot of people should be, it is a job.
It's a job, yeah.
It's a job.
It's a job. It's a job.
What would you say to those people? Because I mean, there's followers on here, not that many, but there's followers. So what would you say? What would you tell them? It's like, yo, dude, it's like, and we just did it's like same thing if you worked at a fucking donut shop and you had to make donuts every day.
Yeah.
What would you tell them?
I mean, honestly, like my personal take on it is that first and foremost, kind of like what he said, is that it is a job. But we are people too.
Yeah.
We all don't agree on every single solitary thing, or we also get lumped up into this one thing. Everybody thinks that we are
Trump supporters.
Yeah, everybody thinks like we're massive like Trump supporters and all this. I'm personally not. I don't like Mr. Orange. But I also didn't like the Wicked Witch of the West either. I thought she was horrible.
Hey, bro, can we just say the last handful aren't been that good?
I'm not the last handful, and even the ones that we have now are horrible in my opinion. But honestly,
sorry, I meant handful back.
Oh yeah,
from years back. Yeah.
Oh, from everything now all the way back. I just sit there and I was like, they're humans too. They're not great at it, but But a lot of people tend to think that a lot of military people are all these MAGA Trump people. I'm personally not one of them. No. I'm pretty chill. I like to be left alone. I like to learn how to cook. I like to go shoot my guns. I'm also a gun owner as well. They tend to think that about gun owners too. Like, oh, you're a gun owner, so you're a big massive Trump supporter. That's not really the case at all either. No. But I mean, I don't like Mr. Orange, but I also don't like the one that looks like he's dying right now. What is the one? The one?
Skeletor?
Skeletor, yeah, that one. And
by me saying that, it's not because I'm a Trump supporter. God damn, fucking cool the fucking
jet. Or even like I had a T-shirt that said it was a T-shirt it was a red T-shirt that has the American flag on it, and it says freedom on the back. And it was at that time where you had to wear a mask everywhere you're going and all this other stuff. And I'm like, kind of ironic, you're wearing that T-shirt when all this shit. I was like, dude, can I just pay for my energy drink and go home? Can I just is that simple? I ran out of coffee. I needed an energy drink to finish my day. Please get away from me. But when it comes to all that type of stuff, I usually stay out of it. And
I think we're gonna let this up.
Wow.
We're gonna let it reduce for a little bit, but you see we'll see where the flavors we're going with.
Yeah. But
we haven't put salt in there yet.
Yeah. Oh no, this is great. But overall, you gotta understand, just because somebody was a military veteran, or they work for a certain company and the higher up, supports X, Y, and Z, it doesn't mean that they're this massive president. They're a human being. They're just doing their job. That's just what it. Some people don't like to think of it that way, unfortunately. But you know what? at the end of the day, you're not going to please everybody.
No.
So just keep doing things that make you happy,
Yeah.
like cooking
Say a
and
little bit.
cooking and shooting guns.
Yeah. Now, on a completely other side of this, because you've been out of the military for how long now?
Oh, dude, I got out of active duty in 2005.
Cool. And you're moving into another realm of your life, which is...
Stunts. Yeah.
Fucking nailed that in the time.
Dude, right?
And that's been a huge change because you were actually going for a sound engineer, right?
Yeah, I moved to LA to be a sound engineer for film.
Yeah.
And at first, when I first started doing it, I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm a total sound nerd. I love old school synthesizers and like making sound effects, like taking real life sound effects and turning it into something that doesn't sound like what it is meant to be.
Gonna have you make the new Cooking with Nathan sound.
Yeah.
Oh, make it like the Inception sound.
or like the big Terminator intro.
That's how I knock every time from now on. It's been great.
Dude, ironically, that's how I do it. I did it one time and like Kato was here. She's like, is this like Terminator? I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I knocked on the door and I was like, and she was just like, oh shit. But
You see these, by the way?
oh, look how clean those are, man. Those look great. Hell yeah. So, I have a quick question. Do you put them back in here, or is it?
No, what I want to do, and this is just what this is how I dreamed of this since we talked about this last night.
Yeah.
Is rice this over the top, and then I'm gonna thinly slice it and just put it over the top of that.
Oh wow.
So you're gonna have all the flavors there. So I'm letting it rest right now. So by the time we're done with that, it should be all work out together.
I like how it's not sticking to the pan.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it just keeps stirring. It's like it's gonna make it nice and thick and really lovely.
Yeah, it's not liquidy, which I like.
Now we actually met through doing stunts. We met through my fire burn stuff in my backyard.
Yeah, and coffee.
Which now, having said that, sounds so trashy. But whatever. But you've like stumbled upon doing stunts. And
randomly.
It's the new thing that you want to try.
Yeah.
What is your goals with doing that? Because I've been wanting to do stunts for a very long time. I've been in the world for a while. I've been in and out, unfortunately, because of fucking porn. Thanks a lot, guys.
In and out, no pun intended.
But like, it's a real cool job. It's fucking fun. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
I'm 36.
36. I'm 34.
You're 34?
Thank you. Yeah, I just turned 34 the other day. You were there for my birthday.
Yeah, we were in the pit together.
High five.
Yeah. Thunder Buddy.
Thunder Buddy. People didn't like us. But it's an interesting world. Would you explain them from your experience in the time that you've been in? Like, what has the stunt world been like for you as a job, especially if you're going from military to this? Like, what is it like?
Dude, I'm not like I haven't done like actual like stunt gigs or anything like that, but I've helped like a ton of my friends film like their own stunt related projects.
Soon to be funny one.
Whoop. Yep. Yeah, and but yeah. I've gotten into that, so I'm not like officially like doing like stunt work or anything. But when I found out that my military background could help doing stunts, I was like, oh, like how? Like I didn't believe it at first, but then, like I do a lot of like different types of shooting, so like tactical and whatnot. I've taught many friends. I was a rifle instructor. I was a rifle instructor in Louisiana for a little while. That was pretty cool. I was working on a rifle range, and I did that for a small stint, and then I left the country and did other stuff. But either way, I didn't think that. I thought you had to have like this massive background in like martial arts or tricking or tumbling or something like that or parkour or whatever. That's actually not the case at all. And when I found out that I could utilize what I already know as for stunts, I was like, cool, this is what I want to do. Because like when you're a sound engineer, being a sound engineer, it's not bad, dude. It's just like you're at a desk all day, you're in a dark room by yourself, you can't do things in that room. So how'd it come out? Good.
I think it needs a little more spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost
It's good,
there.
but there's nothing wrong with more spice.
No, it's like it's almost there, but it's not. So.
Yeah. Are you gonna put a whole different herb in or chili? Okay.
A little pepper.
A little pepper. But I'm utilizing all that tactical knowledge I learned in the military for what I do now. And then we're actually going to be doing something soon with all that.
Yeah.
From my understanding.
Yeah. Well, from what our conversation is about.
Yeah.
It's going to be doing a little something different. We're going to and actually doing some cool racks and doing some stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Now, for the people out there, because stunt work is, I'd say, even a smaller community than
it's actually a very small community.
Very small than military people. Way smaller.
Way smaller.
I'd say it's bigger than the porn community.
Oh yeah. Oh
way
wow,
bigger
really?
than the porn. Yeah, dude. There's like 50 dudes in my industry that do that.
There's like 50 tops.
Dude, there's 50, and that's pushing it. There's very few. Ask him how many he sees on a PA set when he's PAing. But like, it's very small, and so it's like the amount of people trying to do this job is a very interesting one. And because you also work at a gym that pretty much supports all stunt people, right? You get to see all these people coming in bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Like, I'm guessing is it almost similar to like where the military was when they come in?
It's similar.
I'm gonna do stuff, and they're like, fizzled out.
I remember the first time that I made a decision. I started talking to other people about like getting into stunts, and they're like, "Hey, there's like a couple things you got to know. Learn how to wreck, which is basically throwing yourself on the ground, no matter what it is, even if it's cement. Learn how to land correctly and whatnot, which is great. And then, learning how to do fight choreography, how to throw a punch correctly so you don't hit the actor and stuff like that. Like, I'm learning all these little things, and it's great. And I'm very happy to know all this knowledge and always learning, because like, but also like just because like you don't know like a martial art or or into tricking and whatnot, you can still do this, or even because I was contemplating it because like it was in the middle of the pandemic where I made a decision. I was like, I want to be a stunt performer. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be a sound engineer anymore because it just got too much. I didn't like sitting at my desk all day, and being a stunt performer, from my understanding, you have to be active, which I like to be active. Coming from powerlifting and all that stuff, and I've done a little bit of jiu-jitsu in the past and whatnot, which I'm hoping to get back into it soon, because now I could like financially like afford it now. Yeah. And but that's like a thing. So, but like I was talking to a bunch of people. It's like, oh, like you're military, so you know how to use a gun. I was like, well, yeah. And I was like, not everybody knows how to do the same thing that I know how to do, apparently. No. And that was like the number one thing that was brought to my attention. Yeah, so I was like,
I got a couple military buddies that were like, he was a welder. One guy put bombs on a plane. He's like, he didn't know shit about guns. He learned guns because he took the time to learn.
But while I was active, even though like I was a heavy machine driver, and all that. Like we still took time. We went to the range. We cleaned our rifles. Like, we did a lot of training and all that. We did like moving in and out of buildings and in and out of rooms. A little bit better, money. Yeah. That was way better. That's way better.
That's the money.
Yeah. But like I said, like all that knowledge is spanning from like when I first got into the military, and I just learned as I went. Because like nowadays, like a lot of veterans, like, they make tutorial videos of how to go in and out of, like, it's more out in the open now, like what we do. Yeah. Considering with social media and whatnot, and like even veterans now. I remember, like, when you first got out of the military, you're like, what do you do with all this knowledge that I have? So you have to go to college, you have to find a whole other career that you're gonna get into. But now I'm like, oh well, I could use the stuff that I've been learning since I was 18 years old to use that to pursue what I want to pursue now, which is, working in the stunt industry.
Which I think is just smart as hell, man.
Yeah. And so hopefully, like, all that pans through, I enjoy it, and hopefully, like, soon I get to a point where I have, like, multiple props and whatnot, so I can start teaching.
You want to turn that off?
Turn it off.
Turn it off. Let's move this to back there.
This to back here?
To back there.
1, 2, 3.
Cool.
There we go.
Let's try to make this look real nice.
Oh.
I fucked it up. So here's the tough.
That rice is so clean.
Here's the tough one. It's trying to make this all
flat. Dude, I get like at my other job, I usually get like the whatever spoon, I just make it as flat as possible. Because like when you go to present food to people, like you don't want to give them like, you know, rice with a bunch of holes in it. You want like this flat piece all the way across, make it look really nice and crisp. Oh wow, that's so cool. Dude, I didn't think cooking duck was gonna be that difficult. You know, that's actually really easy. Whoa, science! Like what's this science, man? Jesus, you know, like it's like, or no, I was talking to like one of the chefs at my job, and I was like, hey, like how come like food when people make it at home, it doesn't look as well as it does when you're at a restaurant? Yeah. And he's like, he looked at me, and he's like, that's why I get paid. You know, that's why I'm a chef. You know, but
okay.
Overall,
this is why. Because I still fuck this up.
That looks so good.
I mean, like, it's still, like, if we want to talk about, like, what plating is, like, even that. But, like, even that, like, that's not as clean as, like, what I would do, if I was doing this in, like, kitchen, I would put this in a blender and put it in a squirt bottle and just, you know, like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, I would make it look a little bit nicer. So, damn it. And, like, stuff like that. Oh, fucking. Stop it.
Even your rice looks better than what I do.
Yeah, but like, kind of like I had a girl on here the other day who started bitching at me because I didn't have a rice cooker.
Well, you don't. I mean, I think a rice cooker is just convenient.
Yeah.
It's just not. I mean, but you don't necessarily need it. I still cook it with a saucepan.
Yeah. It's just trying to make things streamline. There's that.
God, that looks so clean.
God damn it. Fucker.
And honestly, like, this actually didn't even take long to make either.
No?
No. I don't, like... But even like whenever you actually did the whole...
Honestly, I could probably make this whole thing pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because the duck, like, if I'm doing this all myself, I'm like, just not worry about it.
Yeah. And it still came out good, man. Is your rice, like, do you do anything to your rice specifically?
There's a handful of things. You salt the water, you put rice vinegar in there. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that.
Because it looks fluffy.
Yeah, well, you have to, once the water gets to a certain point, then you put rice vinegar in there. Mm-hmm. Or like just vinegar in general. You put vinegar in it, and let's put this right there. Boom. And then you fluff it up a little bit, and then you let it sit.
Yeah. Overall, that looks good, man.
Let's try this out.
Let's give it a shot.
Well, the sauce is fucking good.
Mmm.
Oh.
That is so good.
You tried the duck yet?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm. Oh, man. So good.
That was really
This came out great.
That was really good. Mm-hmm. I didn't even put that much seasoning on the fucking duck, man.
That chili helped out, too. Mm. It was really, really good.
Yeah, it was just like lacking a little bit. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. Puddle's already here.
Sure, bro. Oh, that's really nice, man.
That is really good.
Good job, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man.
No problem.
Thank you.
And just, I would like to point out, guys, don't matter what you're doing in your life when you're trying to stay on a healthy kick, you can make shit good for you and still taste good.
Yeah. Like, this is considered healthy.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's nothing in this that's going to be considered bad. Maybe, but like, if we're going heavy, the rice. Yeah, if we're going heavy, the duck has a little bit more fat on it than anything else. But you can do all the same shit with chicken breast.
Yeah.
And you can make it work for you. Stop it! Stop fucking your food over and making it shitty. You're too skinny. I don't want to be the Italian grandma here, but I will be. Nathan Bronson.
My game out.
No, tell them where they can find you. What's new coming up in your life? Is there anything? Also, would you call on anyone to come on the show?
Who would I call to anybody to be on the show? I'm not sure. Has Tavon been on our show?
Yeah,
yet?
he has. He's a piece of shit.
How's that? Nancy. Let's get Nancy on the
Nancy?
show. Nancy Canteen.
All right.
Super awesome. Stunt woman.
Oh my God.
Fire. She does fire. She does
Fire
stunts.
extraordinaire.
Dancing. Glorious, and she's so nice. She's very sweet. And she also helped me out with the first time I ever did a fire burn. She was one of the people there. She was there when I met you. And that's how we all became friends that day.
Did I safe to you?
I believe so, yeah.
No.
No, I know you put the gel on me because you put gel on me and I couldn't breathe. I was like, oh shit! And
That's
he's like,
right,
yeah.
I was
Total
like-
accident, by the way.
Yeah, I was like, calm down, bro.
But
Papa Bronson's got you.
but yeah. Nancy Canteen, definitely have Nancy. She's awesome.
All right.
Instagram, if you want to find me on Instagram, it's my name. It's just at Mike Ema,
Yeah.
MikeIema. That's it. I keep it real simple, and that's actually me. I'm the only person that runs that Instagram. So yeah.
My God,
Other than there-
fucking duck is great.
Dude, oh man, it's like, I gotta catch
Fucking
up.
hell. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Hanging with Nathan. If you like the show, please like, subscribe. I know this was not a porn girl, but you know what? Tits are still good. Tits are tits. Also, guys, if you like the show, please support it. Buy the merch. The merch is coming out. New things coming out all the time. And also, with new episodes coming out every week. So keep watching, guys. We're going to keep trying to make more interesting stuff for you. And also understand that I'm going to put out stuff that's interesting to me. This guy's one of them.
Hi.
You don't like it? Go fuck yourself.
Hard.
Bye. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.